Hello, today I will read Exodus chapter 32. In chapter 31 we saw that God chose uh, Bezalel and Oholiab to make the things, the objects that were needed for a relationship with God. Yeah, it was very interesting because it was with some things to do, like making killing an animal, and it was different. But the base is the same. And now Jesus Christ is the Lamb. Okay, now let's read Exodus chapter 32. When the people saw that Moses was so long, God gave Moses 2 tablets of the testimony, written by God himself and made by God himself. Those 2 tablets. And he's staying Moses stayed 40 days and 40 nights in the presence of God, and it was a very close relationship with God, and God showed to him so many things and gave him gave him the law. Now let's continue. When the people saw that Moses was so long in coming down from the mountain, they gathered around Aaron and said, "Come, make us gods who will go before us. As for this fellow Moses who brought us up out of Egypt, we don't know what has happened to him." Aaron answered them, "Take off the gold earrings that your wives, your sons, and your daughters are wearing," even sons, "and bring them to me." So all the people took off their earrings and brought them to Aaron. He took what they handed him and made it into an idol cast in the shape of a calf, fashioning it with a tool. Then they said, "These are your gods, O Israel, who brought you up out of Egypt." Gods or God? This is your God. Why Moses? Why Aaron did that? Why he thought himself that he is now a leader because Moses was up, and how could he do such thing? Aaron, a brother of Moses, brother by blood, and they shared the same God. It was Moses' God, but Aaron, God sent Aaron to help him too, because Moses didn't want to make all of those things alone. And now what is he doing? He understood maybe nothing. And if you go to the church, it's not enough. You can just stay there year after year, maybe your whole life, and you can understand nothing. You cannot. This is the Bible. This is the law of God. This is the way of light, and you are in the darkness. How can this happen? It's not impossible, unfortunately. And yeah. Then they said, when Aaron saw this, he built an altar in front of the calf and announced it. Tomorrow there will be a festival to the Lord. To the Lord, and there's what is he doing? So the next day, the people rose early and sacrificed burnt offerings and presented fellowship offerings. Afterward, they sat down to eat and drink and got up to indulge in revelry. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Go down, because your people whom you brought up out of Egypt have become corrupt. They have been quick to turn away from what I commanded them and have made themselves an idol, cast in the shape of a calf. They have bowed down to it and sacrificed to it and have said, 'These are your gods, O Israel, who brought you up out of Egypt.' I have seen these people," the Lord said to Moses, "and they are stiff-necked people. Now leave me alone so that my anger may burn against them and that I may destroy them. Then I will make you into a great nation." But Moses sought the favor of the Lord his God. "O Lord," he said, "why should your anger burn against your people, whom you brought out of Egypt with great power and a mighty hand? Why should the Egyptians say it was with evil intent that he brought them out to kill them in the mountains and to wipe them off the face of the earth?" Moses didn't know what happened down there. And all the Israel were so dependent to the Moses that without him they could lose. They've been lost. They're lost. Themselves, and very sad. There was no structure of. It was something, but look what happened. To wipe them off the face of the earth. Turn from your fierce anger, relent and do not bring disaster on your people. Remember your servants Abraham, Isaac and Israel, to whom you swore by your own self. I will make your descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky, and I will give your descendants all this land I promised them, and it will be their inheritance forever." Then the Lord relented and did not bring on his people the disaster he had threatened. Moses turned and went down the mountain with the 2 tablets of the testimony in his hands. They were inscribed on both sides, from front and back. The tablets were the work of God. The tablets. The writing was the writing of God, engraved on the tablets. Wow. When Joshua heard the noise of the people shouting, he said to Moses, "There is the sound of war in the camp." Joshua was with Moses, but not as far. Moses, I think he went, or maybe nearby, he was there too. Moses replied, "It is not the sound of victory, it is not the sound of defeat, it is the sound of singing that I hear." When Moses approached the camp and saw the calf and the dancing, his anger burned, and he threw the tablets out of his hands, the work of God, breaking them to pieces at the foot of the mountain. Wow. And he took the calf they had made and burnt it in the fire. Then he ground it to powder, scattered it on the water, and made the Israelites drink it. He said to Aaron, "What did these people do to you that you led them into such great sin?" "Do not be angry, my lord," Aaron answered. "You know how prone these people are to evil. They said to me, 'Make us gods,'" gods or God, "who will go before us. As for this fellow Moses who brought us up out of Egypt, we don't know what has happened to him." So I told them, "Whoever has any gold jewelry, take it off." Then they gave me the gold, and I threw it into the fire, and out came this calf. Wow. It is not real. You can joke about this. I mean, you just throw a gold into a fire and it came this calf. It was a work of Moses, who was shaped that gold into that calf. I don't know if Moses himself, but maybe, yeah, I don't know. Moses saw that the people were running wild and that Aaron had let them get out of control and so become a laughing stock to their enemies. So he stood at the entrance to the camp and said, "Whoever is for the Lord, come to me." And all the Levites railed to him. So there were some enemies there too, watching them. Then he said to them, "This is what the Lord, the God of Israel says. Each man strap a sword to his side. Go back and forth through the camp from one end to the other, each killing his brother and friend and neighbor." Whoa. The Levites did as Moses commanded, and that day about 3,000 of people died. Then Moses said, "You have been set apart to the Lord today, for you were against your own sons and brothers, and he has blessed you this day." Very, very sad and very scary. I mean, to kill your own brothers, your own friends, your own neighbors. Your own family members that they have been corrupted. So it seems that not all the Israel became corrupted, but it was a start. There were maybe more than 1 million there, with wives and kids. More than 6,000 of 6,000 of hundred of people. Oh, how can I say? 0.6 million of men. Plus more than 0.6 million. So Moses went back to the Lord and said, "Oh, what a great sin these people have committed. They have made themselves gods of gold." Why he said gods? In our Bible it's God. I mean, they make like icon of God. I mean, but they thought that God is a cow. It was very, very weird. And yeah, we are against icons and images of God, and you pray for, and you know, you must pray for God. Your God cannot be seen or be made a portrait of Him. It's not. Yeah, Jesus Christ was in the shape of a man, but we don't know exactly how He looked, and even if we can find the shape, it is not that very important, because the most important it was who he really was. Uh, the shape of a man he took from the Mary, and yeah, from human genetic, from human genetic, but not from man. The seed. The seed was from the God. I mean, it was no seed. It was God. It was very interesting. Yeah. The next day Moses said to the people, "You have committed a great sin, but now we will go up to the Lord. Perhaps I can make atonement for your sin." So Moses went back to the Lord and said, "Oh, what a great sin these people have committed. They have made themselves gods of gold. But now please forgive their sin. But if not, then blot me out of the book you have written." He takes care of his people, of the Israelites people. And he is acting like their real leader. He was a real leader. He cared very much about the Israelites, more than his life. The Lord replied to Moses, "Whoever has sinned against me, I will blot out of my book. Now go, lead the people to the place I spoke of, and my angel will go before you. However, when the time comes for me to punish, I will punish them for their sin." So God was a bit passive at the first time. I mean, he really wanted to kill everyone, but Moses stopped them, and the Levites killed 3,000 of people, and God is waiting. When the time comes for me to punish, I will punish them for their sin. And the Lord struck the... if you make a sin and you think, oh, everything is okay, nothing bad happened. I mean, the sin, but I am being corrupted, but I live in the darkness, I destroyed myself, but still, maybe you say, it's okay, nothing bad happened, I can continue. But maybe sometimes it's like here. When the time comes for me to punish, I will punish them for their sins. Maybe the times for you to be punished by God has not yet came, but it will come. If not on this life, but better be on this life. If not on this life, then afterlife, your eternity. Or you can forgive, you can pray for forgiveness for the to the Jesus Christ, to the Lord, to the God, and that He to resurrect you, to redeem you by Jesus' blood. And the Lord struck the people with a plague because of what they did with the calf Aaron had made. So Lord still punished them. Maybe the time has come already. Even if God says, however, when the time comes for me to punish, I will punish them for their sin. But in the next verse, and the Lord struck the people with a plague because of what they did with the calf Aaron had made. Aaron. Wow. What we can learn from here is you can trust no one. I mean, Moses was with God, but even his own brother and his own colleague that God made all those miracles through Moses and through Aaron too. Sometimes Aaron, in Aaron's hands, it was the staff, and God worked, and look what happened. It is very sad if God wants that you to understand Him, that you to know Him, and you went through so many miracles. You have seen so many miracles. You have lived with God, in the presence of God, and you understood nothing. It is very, very sad. And it is possible, we see. Okay, that was the chapter. Is a sad chapter. Okay, may the God protect us from falling down and make us to live in the light, to walk in the light, and to clear all the darkness inside of us by enlightening it with the light. I mean, only the light can destroy the darkness. Okay, may the God bless me, protect me, and enlighten me. In the next, if God wants, in the next chapter 2, and if God wants, you will see me there too. Of course, God wants that you to be protected, but it is that me, if we are His. Okay, God bless you all and goodbye.